And we're live with episode 7
7
of the Apartment K podcast.
Woo.
Keeping it consistent, guys.
We're trying to.
We're doing it. So, today was a fun day. We went to the mall.
I failed my written test for DMV.
Failed your written test for the DMV.
But I'm not sad about it because I have 2 more tries, so not that big of a deal.
Yeah, she failed for the test that she didn't study for.
Which I knew I was going to fail, so it was more like my parents kind of forced me and my brother. My brother passed, and I didn't study at all, so I'm like, of course I'm going to fail. So, study, kids.
Read the book.
Exactly.
Shout out to your brother, though, for passing.
Yeah, go Sanj. This is for you.
He's got to get a car now. He's going to be out here free in the world.
Dude before me, which is kind of whatever.
It's honestly kind of funny because, I don't know, is it a sex thing? Because when I was like his age, I couldn't wait to get a car.
He doesn't really want to drive. He just wants the
doesn't?
license. No, he doesn't really care.
He just wants the license?
Yeah, he's more so doing it for my parents because he's
okay.
like, they're like, get it, because my mom's so sick of driving everyone around.
Yeah.
So she wants someone else to drive. So he's like, fine.
I feel that.
And see, that's funny you say that because even as like, maybe, okay, that's a lie, 15, 16, I did want a car because my friends were driving, but I never really wanted to drive. I was always like a passenger princess. I loved that my friends had cars and I could just like ride passenger.
Yeah. Nah, I wanted, like, as soon as I found out you could get your permit at like 15.
Damn, that's so young when you think about it.
Yeah. But you can still just drive around. You just can't have other people in your car. Allegedly.
The whole thing is you're supposed to have somebody 25 or older with a license, and then you could drive around with
No, you could, with your permit, you can drive by yourself.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I
Well,
swear, you probably were.
I was driving
because
around.
That's what the driving person told Sancha at the DMV today. They're like, if you're under 18, you have to have someone 25 or above with you in the car.
Nah, that's got to be a new law.
Maybe it's new because they literally told them that today.
Because I specifically remember when I was still going to NSNL, there was this girl named Sarah, and she had her permit at 15. And I was probably like 13 or something. Yeah. And she would drive herself to school every day. And she was like, I can't give you guys a ride. Like, I can only drive. Oh. So that's where that
came from?
Was implanted. And then I was like, when I'm 15, I'm for sure getting my license.
Maybe. Oh my God. Just popped my pimple on camera.
Gross. I gotta
look into that because I swear. I mean, the guy must know. He's a DMV person, you know.
It's probably a new law because I swear I was driving my own car at like 15, 16.
I know a lot of people who did, you know?
Yeah.
I just assumed nobody was following the laws. Because I swear...
We're all just out here riding dirty.
Wait, so when it's a written test, when you pass your written test, is that your permit, technically?
No.
Oh.
You have to pass the behind the wheel test, too.
And then you get a permit. I didn't realize that.
The written test is just for like young niggas to be like, do you know the law of the road?
So if I had passed the written test, I wouldn't have had a permit.
No.
I didn't
you still would have had to do.
I didn't know
especially if you're like today or like whenever you took your shit.
Yeah.
If you had passed the written shit or the written stuff, you would have had to book your behind the wheel test, and then you pass that, and then you get your license.
I thought like in between that you have your permit, you can still drive around before the driving. But why would you? Huh?
You're like 20 something. You don't need a permit.
I thought you still got a permit.
After a certain age, they don't give you a permit. They just make you do the license process.
I thought the written test was getting the permit.
No. Only for Sancho.
Like, because he's like under 18.
Kid, yeah.
I didn't know. That's silly. Because I would have been like, where's my permit? They're like, how old are you?
That's hilarious.
I can't.
But yeah, so
we got him clothes.
Yeah.
We took him back to school shopping. I was trying to kind of like amplify his outfits because my brother is very like, I don't care what I wear, more about comfort. So I wanted to make him look not cool because cool is like subjective. My look for him was like Cali streetwear.
I mean, just elevate his style a little bit. I feel like, as you enter the adult world, it's kind of important to have somebody to like show you that. You know?
I think so. And like for me, like I developed my sense of style at a very young age, so I've never really had, I mean, I guess I was emulating TV and stuff, you know, on the magazines, but I've never really had
culture.
Exactly, pop culture. I'm a pop culture queen. but I never had anybody who was like, I guess my auntie, that's a lie. Okay, I did have a lot of fashion influences, so that's totally a lie.
Did your friend, like, were the people you hung out with, were they also into, like,
totally
fashion?
And I don't know if that's more like a girl, quote unquote girl thing. Like, that was the thing. Like, we would match in, like, high school. Like, my friends would text me, like, hey, let's all wear skirts today. Like, that was
what the fuck?
Dude,
that's crazy.
yes.
Nah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I remember, like, when I was in high school, the fucking jerk era came out, and that was like,
what do you even wear for the jerk? Like t-shirts.
So back then, you don't remember?
It was
like, so now we're kind of spoiled because there's just like men's skinny jeans, but back then they didn't have that. And do you remember that one store? I think it was called Seal.
Yeah, Wet Seal.
Wet Seal. Yeah, there you go. And they had like all the skinny jeans for like the women, but they're like different colors and shit. And that was kind of like that was like the whole wave of the jerk era. It was just like colorful, like random colorful shit. You know what I mean?
Funny.
So me and the homies used to go buy like the biggest size you could get of like skinny jeans at Wet Seal and wear them shits. But I say that to say that was kind of like I feel like I was always kind of like into fashion. Because like my dad sold clothes, I would wear like True Religions and shit.
And the latest shit, the popping shit, yeah.
Like I had Bape and True Religions. That's like
low-key lit.
Right when it was getting popular, we had all that shit. But that was in middle school, so like nothing. It was all like my dad's hand-me-downs, so nothing fit me. So by the time I got to high school, like I had an idea of like what was cool, but I always wanted to like put my own twist on it.
Right.
So like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was super into fashion, but I was into like developing my own style.
Which I think is like goes hand in hand. No, totally. Yeah. Like for me more so, and I didn't think this way when I was a kid because I was looking at the latest trends. Now more, I don't care about fashion, more of my own sense of style. Yeah. Because I think your own sense of style could be very timeless versus like fashion is just trends.
Well, I forget who said it. I think it was like my mom. But
I thought you were gonna be like
somebody. I was talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh, like fashion is just kind of like whatever's in the moment, but style is like how you wear stuff." You know what I mean? So it's like
she probably got that from somebody. I was like, I heard that before.
Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe I heard it from someone else. But
okay. But shout out to Poppy for that.
Yeah, shout out to Poppy.
She's listening. She's like, "F you, I said it."
We'll go ahead and give her credit for that.
That's a dope saying.
But I think like, they always say like, the man makes the clothes.
No, I agree with that.
I think there's like some truth to that. Like because you can wear like the latest fashion and have zero style.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Kind of what you were saying about like Sanj, like you kind of have to know my brother, but I was trying to put him in specific looks, and it's like if you don't own your confidence, you're just gonna look like somebody almost wearing a costume, Right, exactly. Which is going back to Wet Seal. You know what Wet Seal reminds me of to this day, like Shein. It was kind of that vibe, right? It was the Shein of I just wanted to add that little tidbit.
I don't know. I can't remember if like online shopping was. Oh yeah, because I remember there was
that was like the American Apparel era too, right? Oh
shit. Yeah. So it's funny you say that because everybody at my high school was into like American Apparel.
I'm sure.
Hollister, like all that shit. Like those fucking hoodies, man, that said like AE on it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
American Eagle was another one.
Yeah, I was like, that's American Eagle, American Apparel.
But like everybody was rocking that shit. So you know me, I don't like to fit in. So I would see like all the niggas in my school wearing the same shit, and I'd be like, nah. I even tried it once. I think I bought like a Hollister hoodie one time, and I wore it, and I was like, this ain't even me.
This isn't me.
This ain't even me.
I feel it. And like for a long time, and even to this day, like I do follow fashion trends, but especially now I'm trying to kind of like, I'm almost 30. I'm trying to kind of elevate my sense of style, and what I mean by that is, I don't know, I'm kind of entering the professional world. Yeah. And I do love kind of, before I would like show off my midriff and like show off my boobs, and I was very like more risque because I don't know, probably I got attention, I felt sexy or whatever, I wanted to feel more grown.
I think that's pretty common for like most right? young teenagers.
I think that's what it is. Like but now I'm like, I kind of see the sexiness in like in just wearing like something just like covering a little bit of skin, like modesty is sexy to me, and
it's subtle too.
Exactly. And it's leave more to the imagination. And I never thought I would get there. When people used to say that, I would be like, what?
The Muslim people got it right. Cover up.
It's sexy. There's something about it. And I'm not saying I cover up all, like I still show boobs and shit, but it's like I'll show a little boob, but I'm gonna wear like a long skirt, I think it's so cute.
I for sure think that
Do you think your style's elevated? Another question I don't.
But what I was gonna say is like they're costumes, right?
Right.
So your clothes, you wear them to represent like a certain aspect of you on a day to day. So like I feel like I have refined costumes. Like I have the outfit I wear to work. I have the outfit I wear to
Saturday hoodie.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like my going out hoodie.
Your going out hoodie. Tell them about that. I think it's
I was
so
like
funny.
I had like I usually wear like a black hoodie to work. But I forgot my hoodie one day, but I had like another hoodie, like a floral hoodie in my car. And my boss was kind of like, "Oh, like, what are you wearing or whatever?" And I was like, "This is my going out hoodie. I forgot my work hoodie." He just like laughed at me. He's like, "What the fuck is a going out hoodie?" I'm like, bro, it's the Bay, my nigga. Like, you just throw a hoodie on, you put a jacket over it. It's a fit. You throw a beanie, like it's got what you meant. It's pieces. You feel me? It's not like. But this is coming from a Southern man who wears like a suit down there every day. Totally. So for him, it's not only is it a different generation, but it's a different culture.
Definitely, which is. Yeah, totally.
But to finish what I was saying, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I just have like more refined costumes now. Like I know what look to wear to like different places.
Right. That makes sense. Which I don't know. I like that because another thing is like what I see a lot on TikTok is in order for it to be fashionable and trendy, it has to be kind of like a name brand, like almost expensive, and I don't like that shit. People almost equate with like if I'm wearing so and so's brand, like that's what looks cute.
The thing that I think we follow different type of fashion stuff online.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because like a lot of the stuff I see,
is yours more like streetwear type of?
It's streetwear, but it's like how obscure of a brand can you wear? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so, like, funny. Like kind of the.
Yeah, the opposite. It's like it's so funny. Underground that nobody's ever heard of it.
It's like that's the regression of cool. Like fuck you to that fashion. Yeah.
But then hypocritically, it becomes popular because those people are hyping it up so much. Right. For example, like Carhartt was super fucking big like a couple years ago because all the hipster and like underground niggas were like buying these Carhartt jackets and stuff. I've never heard of them. It's really a workout brand. It's like Dickies. Like it's something like niggas used to wear to go to work.
That's funny.
And then fucking dusty white people got a hold of it, and then it became super popular. And then regular like. This fucking construction worker niggas were like, "Hey, bro, like,
that's funny.
Stop buying all our jackets."
Expensive and shit.
Yeah, and like stores would just be running out because hipsters would buy it all.
So funny.
But shit like that, you know what I mean? So, but I think it's good and bad because it does bring light to smaller brands, if you will.
Yeah,
and it kind of gives them like a second life. But at the same time, I don't know. It's like
side note: are hipsters still a thing?
I don't really think so, but I never really thought hipsters were a thing.
You're a hipster.
Hipster, like, but I feel like when people say that, they mean like they have like an image in their head. Like we all have an image of what a hipster is.
Kind of, yeah.
But what I always thought was like the whole thing behind hipsters, it's like anti-culture.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's kind of like you're trying not to try hard.
And isn't that your whole thing?
But I don't try. I just don't try. That's the hipster mentality. I guess I'm a hipster. Fuck it.
And I feel like you even like maybe not so particular now because like I don't know your refinedness of your look. You dress way more hipster when I knew you in like college.
But okay, so in college.
In my opinion, my humble opinion.
I always have like a thing, like if I look back, so like in high school, my thing was like crew necks.
No,
I think I've talked about that before, but like I would buy like crew necks off of like independent people who are just artists like or whatever. Yeah, off of like Tumblr and shit. Like I met a lot of people that way.
Trusting of
but it's like if I don't get it, I'll just call my bank.
That's
like
true.
I never thought they'd run off with my money.
That's very true. Yeah,
or at least I didn't care. It's like bitch, I got Wells Fargo.
Yeah, no, you're.
But for real.
Yeah.
But so like in high school it was crew necks, and then Merced was hot as balls, so I couldn't do that. So it was just like t-shirts, but I didn't want like boring like graphic tees. So I went through like a whole like 2-3 years where like I only wore cat tees.
Yeah, I remember.
Like I exclusively like every time I went shopping, I would just buy all the cat tees, like every single one.
That. Or graphic tees were your thing too. The Tina one.
But that was after the cats, and I only stopped doing the cats because Dallas started fucking wearing cat tees, and then I was like, well, it's not my thing anymore. Now it's like an us thing.
So what do you think is your thing now?
I don't know. Ironically enough, I do wear a lot of Hollister these days.
You do?
So it's like I've
but it's
I've
not
gone
like you're
back.
wearing like Hollister hoodies.
Yeah. I don't wear anything that says like.
Even this is Hollister, but I don't think you could tell.
This is Abercrombie.
You know what I mean? You
but
can't tell. I love this material.
Ironic. I know. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. The funny thing is, I only buy it because I like the material. The same thing. Like I wear like Hollister joggers a lot.
Yeah.
I just like the material.
Same. I love their joggers. That's why I wanted to buy Saunchless, but they were like, it's such a nice thick.
It's a nice. Yeah. It's durable. It
like you can sweat in it, you won't feel gross. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's kind of why that's how I approach like my wardrobe in the first place. Like if I find something I like, I just buy a bunch of different versions of it. So then it's like I don't have to think about it.
Right.
Like
I get you.
That's actually where that style shit. I just remembered it was my mom who said it because we were in Rochester and I was I was joking because I was like I love how I can just throw on anything and it looks like an outfit, right? Because I literally just had like my regular shit, but I threw on like a pretty decent button up and like some different shoes, and it looks like put together. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't have to buy. Like people were like, "Oh, you're going to a graduation. Do you want to buy slacks?" Like, why? Like, why would I buy slacks and like dress shoes? Like, I can dress up my regular outfits.
Right. No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, costumes are getting better. You feel me? Like.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do like fashion in that, like, I do like some brand name shit, but to me, it's never worth, like, for one item to spend, like, more than, like, they be spending, like, a couple $100. I'm like, God.
At that point, you're just wearing a name tag.
That's
you're
what I think,
just saying,
too.
Like, look at how much money I could spend on shit. I was actually watching this podcast the other day, and they were talking about the hidden luxuries of the rich, and the idea that when you're wealthy, people buy shit that they really don't need.
Right.
Like when you're wealthy, you buy like a $20,000 watch that doesn't even really tell like you're not looking at your watch to tell the time.
Right.
But you buy it just to be like, money is such a non-issue for me that I can spend it on this irrelevant piece of thing. So I feel like that channels into like clothing. People just buy expensive shit just because to be like, I have it like that. Like perfect example, like some of these fucking like designer shoes are so fucking ugly. And I'm like, there's no way you think that looks good, but they cost $2,000. So
or even like the Kanye West designs and shit, so ugly and basic. And I know his whole thing is like anti-fat, like he's kind of trying to do that. Yeah. But I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
And then he sells his shit for like
exactly. Like he's such a fucking hypocrite. But no, it's funny you say that. Remember I was telling you about, I saw that one TikTok about the guy talking about like the idea of, on TikTok, they talk about, like, quiet luxury, and they almost kind of, I think it's kind of fucked up when I think about it more, but they basically, quiet luxury is, like, these old money people, you know? They're not, like, wearing necessarily these brand name shit, but it's very, like, subtle shit, and they talk about, like, even the cars they drive or whatever, but this guy was like, no, there's not really a thing as quiet luxury. It's kind of what you said. Rich people kind of, with that money, have the option to like buy anything they want, you know? They could buy the Honda and you wouldn't know they're a fucking millionaire, billionaire. Or they could buy the, I don't even know, fancy car. I was gonna be like Tesla, but I don't know fancy cars, you know?
I'm gonna be a millionaire living in like a modest ass house, driving a Honda Civic every day, but then I'm gonna have like a fucking lake house somewhere in like Switzerland that nobody can get to. You know what I mean? Like,
but I just thought it was like a very interesting rhetoric, especially about like, it's just a specific type of thing on TikTok too, but whenever they talk about quiet luxury, I'm like, are they trying to like offhand, backhand talk about people who, I don't know, like
who wear their wealth?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think that's what they're trying to get at, you know. And then it almost becomes like a racial thing because it's like,
it's true though, because you look at like rappers and NBA players. Right. What's the first thing they do when they get those checks? They buy all the jewelry. They buy like, the fancy car, and that's fine because a lot of times these people come from nothing, and I think if you have nothing, you want to taste that. Right. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But then you look at the people who are signing those checks. Simple suits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very low key. You probably don't even know who they are. You don't know nobody knows who these record label execs are, like who owns the Lakers. You probably could Google it, but off the top of your head, you couldn't be like, it's blah, blah, blah.
But that guy's thing was kind of opposite to that. They were saying like some of these like billionaires do that, and some of these don't. Like it's not necessarily like they just are kind of putting a divide by saying it's quiet luxury. Right. You know what I mean?
But I do think the majority of like,
and to me it's like a divide.
The majority of the billionaires out there aren't doing that.
I don't know. Like we don't know that. They're buying these jets. They're buying this shit. That's not quiet luxury. That's millions of trillions.
But they're not showing you the jets. Is like what I mean. It's like they're not buying an excessive amount of jewelry and being like, yeah, I'm worth it. Like Jeff Bezos doesn't have a 20 fucking
but I
Cuban links on
guarantee
his
you,
neck.
these like Dubai billionaire millions are wearing the diamonds and shit. It really depends. You know what I mean? Maybe not American billionaires.
Maybe.
I don't know. So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting rhetoric. That's my word of the day, rhetoric.
Yeah, but I forget who. Somebody was saying like the difference between, you can see the difference between wealth and rich based on like how people wear it.
I get what you're saying in that, but I also think that's just kind of puts a divide and almost like a racial divide on like, well, like white people, they're not as showy, blah, 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 versus...
There's white people who have chains out there.
Well, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. But like, that's...
Nobody was dividing it by race. I thought it was just by money.
No.
Which I also...
No, that's what I was trying to get at with these TikTokers talking about quiet luxury and old money. They're talking about these white people with these old money, kind of saying, oh, like, they're better and smart. That's how I take it.
That's not how I was thinking it.
That's what I was thinking. But you know me, I make everything race. Whereas, like, they're talking about these, like, not... I don't know if it's loud, but, like, showing offness, you know? It's... I don't know.
But it's like I said, but...
You know?
Fuck, man. There was, like, some shit where they're... Fuck. They're talking about, like, why, like, it's particularly in the black community, whenever we get money, we spend it on lavish shit. I forget what the fuck it was.
I mean, I've heard... Doesn't it go back to kind of slavery...
Kind of, but it was something.
I kind of feel like I know where you're trying to get
I forget. I wish I could remember like exactly what it was that I was like reading or listening to, but you know, it's showy. Like you want to be like, look at me, nigga, I got it. Like that's the whole sentiment behind it, and I think it's because as a culture, at least here in America, generationally, we have not been allowed to have wealth.
Yeah, I'm totally.
So I think even in today's day and age, a lot of the times we're doing it just to prove that we have it and that it's real, you know what I mean? It's not like this isn't a facade, like I really got it, look how much money I blew at the strip club, or I blew on this car, or whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas like I feel like if, you know, bringing it back to race, the old white money, they don't have anything to prove. They're like, we already own everything.
Like generational,
like why do I need to, like I can buy a Bugatti, but why should I? I don't have to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like how I interpret, they almost make quiet luxury and like that specific thing as more like it's classier, it's blah blah blah, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's kind of like rubs me the wrong way.
I do you not agree? Do you think that having all the fucking chains?
I don't think these generational people are all like that. I don't think what they equate
I don't think they're saying
no, that's what they equate. Like they say quiet luxury is like generational, like these people with money, at least like the ones that I've seen. And I don't think like there are people who are generational, like the Paris Hiltons and shit. They be wearing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's generational wealth, and they be like putting that shit out there. But they be like, oh, but that's cool. I do like for me. I do think they're equating this quiet luxury and this generation to being like white, and then like
okay, but why does that bother you? And is it not true that there is old money that is white? How much old money is black?
Right. No, I mean it's not even about that. It's about how like these. I guess these women or these, and it's usually white women, kind of romanticize that aspect of generational money and then kind of be like, kind of say, oh, that's tacky when these people have money and want to kind of show off their wealth, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, do you see what
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm trying to get at?
It feels like a stretch.
I don't know.
Maybe,
and then I wish I could like play this TikTok. I gotta show you this guy's TikTok. Hopefully I liked it after this. Like I thought he explained it better than.
Yeah.
He didn't really go into the race as much, but.
And the only reason why I don't think it's tacky is because I've always said that like if I had a lot of wealth, I would be very like quiet about it.
And I think there's plenty of people of color who have a lot of wealth who are quiet about it. You know what I mean?
No, of course. That's why I don't understand why it has to be a strictly race thing. Like there's white people who wear their wealth and there's black people who don't. Like,
no, I get you.
But I'm just saying this idea of old money, like in this country at least, a lot of it is white.
Yeah.
And they probably don't want you to know that they're super wealthy because they don't want to be, you know, attacked and harassed.
Right. Well, that aspect wasn't my point.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah. No, I get you.
I'm just elaborating here.
Yeah. Which I gotta show you the TikTok because he explained it pretty fucking well, and I was like,
yeah, show it to me.
Interesting. TikTok, man. Opening my mind and then closing it sometimes because I'd be seeing ignorant shit and I'm like,
and then stealing all your data.
That too.
Taking it back to China.
I can't. But no. Oh, another topic that pulling us touch that we wanted to talk about, speaking of like siblings, is both of our siblings are getting ready to go to college, which is crazy. I wish like they could meet hopefully one day.
One day.
I wonder how they would get along. But basically Well, Grace already graduated. Duh, I forgot.
Yeah, my sister's already going to school.
Yeah, I forget that. And then my brother is about to be a senior, going to. Hopefully, I'm gonna put in.
Which is funny because they did the same thing we did. So my sister went to school a year early, and you went to school a year late. So by grade, we're 2 years apart, but we're only 1 year apart in age. And then
it's the same with.
So my sister went to school a year early.
How old is your sister right now?
She's, I want to say 17.
Oh, okay, same. Yeah.
So like I graduated when I was 17.
And he's gonna graduate when he's 18.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they did the same thing because I think.
But they're only 1 grade apart, opposed to us being 2.
Yeah. But they still. I meant like the start.
Oh yeah. No, it is interesting. It is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what college? Well, we don't want to say what college she's going to, obviously.
Yeah.
What is her like major and shit gonna be? Do we know?
I don't know. I think like something to do with like music or some shit.
Okay. Well, we wanted to kind of say like what we would have changed in college, like about our college experience, and I don't know how we felt about college overall.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, like what if you were going to college right now, if you had just graduated, what's something you wish somebody had told you going into it?
Like in this day and age with like this TikTok and everything?
I mean, not specifically, but sure. It sounds like you have something.
No, I don't. I'm just like asking. You go first, so I'm like, I have to think.
I think off the top of my head, I would say try.
Yeah, I guess that's a great one. Yeah.
I would say try, because going into college, it's not that I didn't try, but I was definitely there to have a good time.
Definitely, I agree. Same.
And I was just like coasting. Like I didn't like have a terrible GPA, but I didn't give my full effort either. And there's a lot of things that I wish I had done while I was in college, like join a club, start a club, be more active in like studious things, and not just like the social party, like hang out, drug shit. So I would just say try, like give it. You know, you get out of it what you put in, which is a lot of things in life. So if you can find a nice balance where you're being as academic as you can, but you're still having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is similar to that, and kind of going into more something specific is join clubs. Because our school had super dope clubs that I was kind of interested in. I was interested in even archery. I thought that was a super dope thing. Dude, and it's never joined it. No, and clubs are number one thing. Like, it's free. I think it's mostly free. Great way to meet different people. And I just never took advantage of clubs and shit because I just thought I was too cool for that shit. I was just like, oh, why would I join clubs? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I can make friends with my roommates. Like you, I focus too much on the social partying. And then that's when people are like, maybe, like, you should know when you're ready for college. Like, maybe 18, 17, you're not quite ready. You know what I mean? I've heard people say that, or specifically with certain people. And I'm like, maybe I think I was ready to leave my home, but I don't know if I was ready to be in that state where, without really a lot of supervision, because nobody was like, not that, again, I didn't have the terrible grades or whatever, but I didn't do as great as I wanted to, you know?
I always kind of like wonder about that, because on one hand I agree that sometimes people need like a year between college, especially because it's such a huge like financial decision.
Exactly. And so many people go to debt for nothing.
Yeah, and you're making that decision while you're trying to finish up high school, and there's all this pressure.
Exactly, like somebody like you who you're 17, I was like 18. Yeah.
But I say that, and then I think about myself, and I know if I had taken a year or two, I probably would have like stayed at home for one. I wouldn't have moved out because I couldn't afford it. Right. I would have eventually gotten a job, and then I feel like at that point you kind of just get stuck in that cycle. Right. So it's like, oh well, I'm already working. I'm already making like whatever amount of dollars. Like I might as well just do this.
No, I get you. A lot of people do that.
And you fall into that, and then you probably just never end up going to school. You know.
And another thing, like besides like college, I know we're talking about college specifically, but I wish right out of after graduation, or even like during school, and you're like junior and senior year, they told you about other shit like Europe and internships, because Europe is this, for people listening who are like about to graduate, if you don't want to go to college, Europe is this great program, I believe 2 years, that literally it's an internship. They give you a stipend, and basically they get you like internships at like tech firms, like businesses. It's a super dope thing.
It's really an accelerated learning program.
Exactly. And nobody talks about that. It's just college.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a reason.
Of course.
Keep that. But anyways, you can, if you're young, you can do it. I think the cutoff is what, 24, 25?
It's like 25-6er now.
So you have a lot of time to kind of figure it out. And they offer a lot of shit in tech. And they're all super really good, high-paying jobs. And,
high-paying. I know not so many. I know a good handful of people went through it. And they're in great jobs right now.
Yeah. I agree. I think there definitely should be more conversation around other options.
And not just like the army. It's like college or the army.
Yeah, college or army.
Yeah,
both
and it's so...
will ruin your life if allowed to.
Totally. Totally. So just shit like that, you know? Even just before going to college, kind of...
YouTube University. If you are...
Yeah.
If you're a fucking high schooler right now, just start learning shit on YouTube. Figure out what you're interested in. Just start learning shit. And then by the time you graduate, find something that helps you just do that more. It doesn't have to be school. Don't go into a shit ton of debt.
Yeah.
Also, if you are thinking of like a 4-year university, do that community college shit first if you can and transfer. It will save you a shit ton of money unless you have a full scholarship.
Right. But despite saying all that, I did truly love school. I loved the learning aspect of it. And it really did open up my mind and make me think in a very different way if I hadn't gone to college, you know? Yeah. It made me meet very different people of various walks of life. It just, to me, I've always loved learning, but it made me love learning even more. And it made me highly consider my master's and PhD just to continue learning. Because my major was political science with an emphasis in international relations. And I minored in anthropology. And that shit was like so interesting to me. And I took a lot of public health classes. I just loved it. And I also love the fact that these teachers, like the professors, treat you like an adult. You know, as much as you have so much freedom, I love the fact that, you know, like when you're in that class, like philosophy, you take these classes and they talk to you like you're an adult.
Yeah.
Because in high school and even as, like, you know, when you're at home with your parents, you're still their kid, you know? They don't really have these conversations with you. So I recommend college. Like, I know it's a lot of debt, and I was one of those lucky people who were low income, so it did get a really good ride to school. Not like a physical ride, like money, like, yeah. I don't know. I think if you're somebody who has like a yearning for learning, funny enough.
A yearning for learning.
I think college is it. I loved it.
College is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I had fun, but like...
But you kind of got fucked over too. Yours was a different situation. Yeah. You didn't really get the major.
We already talked about that though. I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. But fucking... I forgot about that. Watch the other episode.
Yeah, I mean, you'll know, but just because like yours was a different experience than mine too.
But even that... But that's not even like it was just like cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like especially being on the other side of it, like what people going into college, everybody's like, you got to go to college. That's the only way you can get a great job. You're going to learn so much and you're going to meet all these great people and you're going to have this lifelong network, blah, 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 blah. And then you get out and it's just like,
no, I get you.
Where's it at though? Yeah, you know what I mean?
You met me in college.
Yeah.
You're the love of your life.
You're the only person who fucking like stuck around. Like, where's everybody else?
Well, you were friends with like Hot Tim and stuff. You're still friends with a lot. And I'm still friends with a lot of my college friends.
I guess like if I consider how much, like,
how many people you met?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, out of all the people I met,
but
it's like a handful.
That I have a handful of people that I really fuck with, honestly, that I still literally talk to on the daily are from college.
It's just funny, because I think if I knew...
You live with those people, you know? You really get to know those people.
Right.
If you knew what.
There's a lot of people I live with that I don't really talk to anymore, though. But
you're right, but most of mine, yeah.
If I knew how much those relationships would matter, I guess, I think I would put more effort into that. Like, there's certain parts of college where they tell you, like, put all your effort into this. And I really think there's, like, other shit that you should be, like, focusing on. Like, I wish I had better relationships with my professors.
100% same.
You know, and, like, really fostered that and kept them around. And, like
I had hot professors. I'm kidding.
All my professors were, like, old dudes and old women.
Remember Jennings was, like, my crush. Love him.
And he fucking, oh, my God. Jennings loved me and everything. Like, it's like you didn't even exist.
I know,
He'd be like, oh, hey, CD, how's it going? And then just, like, not even say shit to you.
I really participated in that class.
Yeah.
When when like I have a crush, when someone makes me nervous, I just like get a shot.
That's so fucking funny because me and Dallas used to go to his office hours like all the time.
What did you guys have? Like Love and Happiness?
Love and Friendship, and then we had like I had another one. I think
that's a song.
without him, I had like just another philosophy class. And when I had the class with Dallas, me and him were like the only two people, because we would debate all the time about stupid shit.
Yeah.
So we would like actually like raise our hands and like talk.
Yeah.
And then like he would say something, I'm like, nah, actually it's like this. And then now like we're debating in class.
Yeah.
So like we were like engaged or whatever.
Did you know his wife also worked there?
Yeah.
Fucking Carolyn, I remember.
Hater.
She wasn't that cute.
That's probably why he didn't fuck with you. He's like, why is she always mugging my wife?
Yeah, that's too funny. Literally, and it's not even like he was good looking, but like I loved his intelligence. I'm so serious.
God, so basic.
I really did. I was just like, what? Like he really.
Like show me your diploma, Big Daddy.
I took an intro to ethics class. Man, that shit like changed my fucking opened a fucking like portal to my mind. Fucking love philosophy, theology, all that shit to this day.
It was one of the better classes for sure.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Maybe I just picked a great major because it was just something I was interested in. Loved literally every part of my major. Maybe not every part.
I mean, shit, me too. When I was still on the like cogsci track, I was even the psych I still enjoy, but it was just like I think because
kind of forced into it.
No, but it was a lot of shit that I was just reading online in high school, but like more like a lot of it I was just like I already knew this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, whereas cogsci I thought was like new and challenging, and it had like new ideas and terms and shit that I just never heard of before, so it really kind of like tickled that part of my brain, you know?
Yeah. But
psych was cool too. I don't know, I just feel like if you're not gonna go into like therapy or like clinical psychiatry, there's no real like it's just fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I get you.
So, I don't know. College was cool, though. I still got student loan debts.
I know, I feel it. But I would highly, like, when I have kids, I highly, like, recommend all this.
I would recommend it, but I don't think I would force it on them.
I'm like, is that a mosquito bite right on my fucking bane?
Yeah, probably. So, if you were, say you're a freshman, what's the first thing you would do? It's orientation just ended, your parents dropped you off.
I would check out the clubs because they be having that shit. I would try to join like 2 to 3 clubs, like definitely, because they be having that shit. Like, come join our club, yeah.
It's funny.
A great way to meet people.
I actually was gonna say this earlier when you were saying like you're too cool for the clubs. I remember like walking past the archery club, like out on the field, being like, look at these fucking losers, these fucking nerds out here with their bows and arrows. And then deep down inside, I was like, man, it looks kind of cool.
No,
but
I did
not. I'll be honest, like the group of people who were doing the archery looked super fucking nerdy, and I was like, I'm just saying, like I'm being honest, like they just look like some straight up dorks, and I was like, I can't.
But see, that's
what I'm saying.
Cool, yeah,
that's the shit.
Like, who cares?
It helped, and it's funny because now I got a bow.
I know, right?
Like,
You're the biggest nerd.
Yeah, but it's like you stop yourself from experiencing shit for like no real logical reason.
And I'm telling you, like, just going a little tiny tangent, like I lived most of my like adolescent life just being too cool. Like I was like, I'm too cool to do this. Like I would like cringe, you know, at like certain shit. And now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck if I'm cringy and shit. And that baby's girls.
But I'll tell you what, man, those people who don't give a fuck are the coolest motherfuckers.
You feel me? And that's why, like, in some ways, I do love Sancho's, like, I don't give a fuck this, you know? He's very much, who's my brother, he's very much like, I like this and I like that, in case people didn't know.
I think they got it. They're like, what?
Like, you know, and I admire that shit. He's very, like, I don't know if headstrong's the right word. I'm very easy to sway and he's not. And
I mean, that's good. It'll take him far, for sure.
I agree.
You gotta have a certain, like, self-assuredness.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do think is really cool about Sancho is that he's not easily
peer pressure?
Yeah,
totally.
Or like he'll be like, that's cool, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right.
No, it's such an admirable thing because I can't, because I'm too polite. I'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? And
everybody like fakes it a little bit.
Exactly.
He's super blunt.
Yeah. Like, hopefully you're watching this. I know he won't be watching this.
I don't know.
Like, you're stinky. I'm just kidding.
You're a cow.
Right. That's an insider. Only me, you, and Sancho get. But I don't know.
Yeah, so back to regular life, I guess. I don't know.
Your girl is 20 days sober.
20 days. I fucked up. I spiraled. I'm like 3 days sober now. But you know, it's all about trying.
Exactly. I need to put my Fitbit on.
Do you even know where it is?
It's literally right there.
So I can't buy her nice things.
I hate having shit on me.
She's like, thanks.
If I could, I would just like be naked. Like I don't like stuff. I'm like the Hulk. All
right.
No, I don't know.
You weirdo.
You're a weirdo. But yeah.
I would say if you are.
Would you? Yeah, first day college.
First day, I think joining a club is.
You can't steal mine.
No, it's actually funny. All the shit that I'm into now, they had clubs for. So archery, photography. They had a comedy club. I don't know if you remember.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had a fucking comedy club, and I think they had like a jiu-jitsu club too.
I'm sure they did. They had
a bunch of clubs. Shit. And the thing that pisses me off is like because it was such a new school, you could just go be like, "Hey, I want to start this club," and they would have let you.
That's okay. I'm
like the dude who started the photography club, Sammy. He was my friend, and he was like, "Oh, like, do you want to be like the VP of the club or something?" That. And I was like, nah, because I was into photography, but I was just like fucking around.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel confident, but like I should have just did that shit.
I think we had a school newspaper. Like I would have loved to join that. Like dude. I don't like. I was gonna be like I don't live in regrets, but I totally do. But
that's what I'm saying. Like if you have the opportunity,
like please do take
it.
advantage of that shit. Why the fuck?
Because even if nothing comes out of it, like I think just trying new shit teaches you something about yourself. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And like not being afraid to like look dumb, but being willing to like figure shit out, you know?
Yeah.
Like exactly. Even with this fucking podcast, it's like we don't know what the fuck we're doing, but we're figuring it out. Yeah.
I still cringe at myself for doing it.
Hey man.
But I see it better than like doing TikTok and shit where I'm like
that's fucking
like going to perform like
yeah, doing the dances.
I hate all you.
Bro, okay. Have you seen the trend of the fucking what's that shit where they're like doing the like NPC thing?
Oh my god, I hate that shit. It creeps me out. I don't like it. I had to like block accounts so it would stop.
Oh my god,
they make so much money.
I know, and I do not understand it.
I was gonna say at least these TikTokers are making hella more money than us doing this.
At what cost? It just looks so dumb. Like that's the thing that
I can't even do it.
They're like, thanks for the bubbles,
so
or
weird.
Like whatever.
It genuinely freaks me out. I don't like shit like that. Like I literally had to.
I don't get it, dude. Like.
You need to get back on TikTok, dude.
Nah, fuck TikTok. After seeing that, I was like, I made the right choice. Deleting this app.
You should definitely get it, especially because we want to be on TikTok.
I was changing my little algorithm up before I deleted it, though. Like, I was unfollowing, like, dumb shit and following, like, the UX stuff and, like...
Yeah.
You know.
I fucking love TikTok. And
it's just a time suck, dude. And I hate... The thing that really got to me is, like, I would close TikTok and go onto Instagram and then scroll Instagram and be like, this is boring, and then close Instagram and go onto TikTok. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? Like, go read a book.
Reddit, bro. But at least with Reddit, I'm reading shit.
Yeah, man. I'm like,
I be stuck on Reddit, dude. I fucking love Reddit.
Put the phone down and put your fist up.
Like yesterday, the other day, like after a long day, I was just on Reddit for like an hour or two. I just had to lay back look at nothing because I was like, my eyes hurt. And then I fell asleep.
Do your eyes ever just like burn?
That's literally what's happening. And then like, it was just bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's not good.
No, it's not.
And I be trying to read like articles more, and I just know my attention span's fucked because I'll read like 2 sentences and be like, wait, what?
That's why you need to be on Reddit, dude. Like,
but I don't want to read people's fucking opinions. Like, I want to just read articles.
There's still articles on Reddit.
I ain't got time for all that.
Tripping. You just don't know how to utilize Reddit.
I don't.
Man. You really don't. You're just not a forum type of person.
I'm not.
I used to be in them fucking all them forums, like IMBD forums, if y'all remember. I'm just a nosy motherfucker and I love talking. I do comment on Reddit, but more so on TikTok. Your girl got 92K on one comment. Get at me. I was proud of that shit. Isn't that crazy? 92K.5 and growing.
How many of them followed you?
I mean, none.
They click on your shit. They're like, what?
I have nothing. I made myself very anonymous because I just want to like talk shit on there. So I made sure people can.
Why don't you post stuff that doesn't have your face in it?
Like what? Like repost shit? That's so dumb. I
don't
have time
know.
for that. That's time to be fighting with people.
Yeah, give people a reason to follow you. I don't know.
That's the thing, like, I don't like putting myself out on a public forum. Like, even this kind of makes me uncomfortable.
But you don't have to show your face on TikTok. I can blur you out on this, too, if you want. I'll just put a big, like...
So they're gonna be like, it's gonna be like 5 videos of me with it. They're like, is that so her? You know what I mean?
I'm like, so
and just start blurring me out.
It's your boy Cetus and definitely not T.
Exactly. They're like, what happened? Like, did he replace her? Is that so?
I got another potentially Asian girl.
Exactly. That sounds just like me.
But yeah, I'm over TikTok. I don't know.
I love TikTok.
I can't do it.
I love it. Reddit's my number 1, and then it's TikTok. But see, again, I don't think you'd be utilizing TikTok either, because it's not even just like I'm doing like the dances and shit. Like, I follow a lot of people who like talk about spirituality, theology, philosophy, like bettering yourself, soberness, fitness. Like, it's a whole.
I get it.
I don't know.
I've been on the talk.
Salad, I don't know.
I've been on the talk for like a year and a half.
Obviously, you're just looking at dances. That's your algorithm, just dances.
Like an NPCs out here.
Exactly, NPCs and dances. Apparently.
But I did find this new website. It's called Medium. Do you remember that website called Stumble Upon?
Yeah. And
it would just send you like, it wasn't just art. Like I think Medium's just articles.
I was like, Medium's been a thing forever.
I know, but I said I just found it. I didn't say it was a new website.
Okay.
I knew about Medium before,
yeah.
but I think I clicked on it like maybe a year or two ago, and I was like, too much reading, and then I recently like rediscovered it. I'm a visual guy, man. Or like a listener. I like listening to shit.
I was like, visual means you read, right?
No, like watching videos. But even the videos, I'm gonna be watching. I'll just be playing it in the background. Oh my God. You just gotta like put in my ear, man.
I don't really watch videos anymore. Funny enough, besides like TikTok, that's just fucks up my attention span. Yeah, and I like reading. I'm such a reader. Because then I can actually focus. If I'm watching or like listening to a podcast, my mind just wanders. I'm like, what?
That's me with reading. Like,
that's so cool.
As I'm reading,
you have to focus on the words.
But I don't. Like, as I'm reading in my mind,
are you dyslexic?
Like my eyes will be like, my brain, like some part of it's reading the words, and in my head I'm like, potato, like, or whatever. But I'm just thinking about random shit. You can think of
other shit more. It's just.
But I'm just an active listener, I guess.
I don't know.
Because I be like tuned the fuck in.
I guess it's different because even with some, not with you, like with some conversations, I just tune out. I'm like, I bet you if they texted to me, I would read that shit.
Right, exactly.
So I guess I'm just a fucking reader. I'm like, just text me. I hate when people call. I'm like, well, why are you calling me?
I hate when people text me.
Really?
When they send me paragraphs, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
I know you stay calling. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. But, yeah. Should we wrap this up? I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, it's pretty late, guys.
Oh, but we will talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about the other movie too, because I did want to talk about this movie we watched, but we'll talk about it tomorrow with Oppenheimer. We'll just make it too.
For sure.
Because we watched.
Because I feel Oppenheimer is like a 3-hour movie, so it might be a lot to talk about on its own. But we'll see.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Anywho's.
What was the movie called that we're gonna talk about?
Paradise.
Yeah, check it out. So you can hear what we thought about. See, I'm all tired. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and had to do all this shit. I know that's probably not early for people.
It's like a regular wake up time. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Tune in to the next one.
If you watch till the end, you say the word what's the
bombastic word side eye.
Bombastic side eye. All right, bye, y'all.
All right, deuces.
Peace out. They see me lay down. Oh my God.